Good morning, everybody. This is Joe Smith. I think I'll just go with that as far as the channel's concerned. I know my hair is like insane, but it seems to be the narrative of myself. Um, I'm going to work on the video eventually. I have been reading into it. I was going to do something last night, decided not to. If you hear the hiss, it's the PV5150. As I looked into it a little more, I found out that with that much gain that's set up on those preamp tubes, you're going to have um, that kind of, it's just too much. It can't even control it. One of the things I looked up, now somebody had commented on the fact that quality of tubes um, may play into it. If anybody knows, please. Um, yeah, I don't know. From my understanding, the United States does not produce um, tubes anymore, so it's all outsourced across the country. Um, how was everybody's New Year's? Hopefully, it was great. I just chilled at home. Um, yeah, what's everybody's New Year's resolutions? Mine. Well, music is incorporated into it. Find a new job. That's a definite have to. Or this empire will just fall, crumble. I don't know. It's just one of those things, just keep going. I've been losing weight, so that's always nice. It's mostly because of lack of funds and that kind of thing. So, you gotta conserve a bit if I am to be honest. Well, like after when you kind of go in between a little bit. Yeah. Um, I think last night I took a moment or yesterday rather, um, I took a lot of time. I'm actually going to put this amp in standby because that is going to kill me. Um, like I love Wayne Shorter. Like so, that was a lot of my birthday and yesterday. Listening to, I will say this: you can listen to a lot studio versions of Wayne Shorter, but Um, he's definitely he is my favorite saxophone. He plays tenor and alto saxophone. Um, he is a style of jazz, and forgive me for the genre of things. I'm not too familiar with some of the subgenres of jazz, but their forms are typically simple in nature. Um, a lot of times they well, I wouldn't call that modal jazz because modal jazz typically, from my understanding, hangs on the chord and the chord becomes the key. So, and then you can use different scale tonic ideas to accentuate. Just because it's a major or minor chord doesn't matter that you have to play that over it. But those are the ideas that kind of set the tone for. Well, these are the benchmarks you can get there. But no, a lot of times what I love about Wayne Shorter is he has simplistic melodies, and he kind of has like both him and Herbie Hancock. Well, I'll say this about Wayne Shorter. Uh, he he tends to write darker melodies and will use a lot of diminished ideas. And man, he just like for everybody that may just be into darker music in general, like man, there's a live version that I found of Sanctuary, a song of his, with Larry Coryell. And I'm going to say this, that live version of Sanctuary is so good. The drummer, man, that guy's off the chain. He just does so much. Just, just such good pocket. You really can't argue with that. Yeah, like I don't know. I just wanted to go live, talk, kind of establish the A community. Hopefully somebody will join. Maybe they'll give me their 2 cents about things. I do realize that lighting is going to be a major problem, so I, I will look to move this operation into one of the bedrooms. I'll just use artificial light, block out the window, that kind of thing, because that that constant, because today we got a weird overcast, unlike my first screen because I did it in the evening. And yeah, just stuff like that, and also position of camera, give me like a better, like, because of my laptop. See, look, I can do this, and then we don't have good balance of, I don't know, just all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, yeah, just love some Wayne Shorter. It's good stuff. I love metal too, so it's not like, but I've always had a reservation for people that just like if you say what kind of stuff you listen to. I never understand how to walk into that transition, because if I just say bands or groups, then I'm gonna get I'm gonna get thrown into all kinds of mixes. Like, so if I start off with metal and I start talking about Nevermore, Testament, and that kind of thing, you're gonna think thrash, like, oh, he's a thrash guy, like high gain, all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, I will say this as far as my musical taste, except for even Wayne Shorter, but like, to me, he has an intensity that can't be measured by tempo. It just, like, I'm not saying he don't get fast occasionally, but there's just something about it, because like, if speed metal's your thing, and I do love some speed metal too, speed metal, thrash, whatever, it's all good. There we go. Good thing. Look, I'm kind of thankful for shitty camera quality, because, like, I look like crap. At least now I can just blame it on the video quality. But to that, just, like, I can, they kind of all have their places, but they all have an intensity. And I remember a long time ago, I was working at IKEA, which is about an hour and a half away from here. And I came home, and I remember they just redid Bitches Brew, a Miles Davis album. And I think the first song on it is called The Pharaoh's Dance. And I was not familiar with the song, so, like, I didn't know the form. And, like, that's something I will say, that can be off-putting to some people that enter into the realm of jazz. If you go in there learning, for chord forms, just trying to understand the thing, and it's brand new to you, and then you start going to listen to this person or that person, and you kind of don't understand, like, their elaborate introductions, because there are a lot of guys that do just these crazy introductions. And, like, if you got like an easy vamp where it's just, just back and forth, da, 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 I don't know, but, like, then that's understandable. But like for the live version of Sanctuary that I was talking about, it's just kind of just like real airy chords, and just just real crazy dark ambient, kind of atmosphere going on, and you're like, okay, is this it? So, um, but theatrics, that they're definitely something for live performances. I'm not saying sorry, I don't mean to say that as if um, I don't like those kinds of theatrics. I do. Um, they help when you're a lot more cultured or familiarized with this artist or that person or something of that nature, and it really helps for that kind of thing. Um, I was telling back to the, I'm pretty much on music. That's my deal. Like I suck, but I love it. I was talking to my buddy because he had I don't remember what kind of amp he had, but he had the same deal with a high hiss. Um, and I would say this: if you're going to get a 5150, unless you're just buying and slinging uh, gear, you're probably going to want the high gain, at least the 5150 that I have. So I have the actual. I'll get back to you guys on that because I don't remember which model 5150 because I want to say there were two or three. If Bobby watches this, I'm sure he's gonna be screaming like, "Dude, it's this one!" Like, um, I don't understand how you wouldn't want it, but also when reading this article, like just trying to figure out how to deal with the hissing, um, it supposedly Billy Corgan went to Eddie Van. If you're not familiar with Smashing Pumpkins, great band, um, had went to Eddie Van Halen's studio a long time ago, and somehow he seen what Eddie Van Halen played through, and he was like, "Where's all your pedals and stuff?" And Eddie Van Halen's response to that was, "I think the amp should do everything." And as a as much of a perfect world scenario as I believe that is to be, like it'd be great. Like I'll say this: there's a part of me that wishes you could have some kind of like tablet connected to your guitar. This is just the form factor, the engineering, like it's not even thought out. So this is me BSing off the cuff. Um, would be great to just kind of touch real quick and then just go back into it. Like, not so much that you have to move towards, because if you're going to play live and you walk around, move away from pedal board, whatever, um, you're encompassing something else that has to have. I'm not saying it's hard. Like that's not the argument. So I'm not trying to make it like, oh, it's so difficult. It's not what I'm saying. It's just one more thing you have to learn. And depending on what you're playing, it has to be so choreographed into everything. And it's an issue. Sorry, I stutter a little bit, not much. I don't know if I'm nervous, but I'm not talking to somebody, so this is also I could talk to myself, but this is just learning curves of just trying to feel this whole thing out. Um, yeah, I actually have a thumbnail this time, so little improvements. Um, one of the things I looked up when looking into going live today, because I just kind of crammed right before I went into doing this, I was like, is there anything I can do right now? And I didn't really come to much of a conclusion, but I did find out, like, when you should use encoders and that kind of thing, because I was about to download one and I was like, well, maybe, like, I'm terrible with video. Hell, I'm not even that good with sound. Like, I mean, you can tell me certain things and I'll just be like, okay, I'll understand that this is this and that kind of thing. But, like I've never really processed video or anything like that. So, when to use an encoder, Like I understand that when you first make a video, it's that raw file is going to be huge. So I understand that. But I also was under the impression that YouTube goes ahead and compresses whatever unless you have, but I don't know, like, let me know. Let me know. Like, I am stupid at all of this. I just, the other day, like I said, screw it. Like, I'm going to see what happens. I don't expect much, but, just fun. It's kind of a therapeutic thing for me. But yeah. So, anyways, enough of music. Let's talk about New Year's. New Year's plans, goals, that kind of thing. For me, mine are kind of basic. Kind of go down a little more of the road of maybe this channel. I don't have a proper name for the channel, so throw whatever out there. I kind of want to stay on the realm of music and philosophy, that kind of thing. I'm gonna tell you how to live your life. You'll do it. Just kidding, but yeah, that kind of thing. Just like just kind of how to react to scenarios of all kinds of things. You know, it's just one of those things where sometimes you just need a little community. Um, I don't know. Um, I did think about some things. Um, Languages, foreign languages. Um, I still like because a long time ago, I think before I really started, like like everybody's had, I say everybody, but a lot of people have had Spanish in high school, that kind of thing. So then you get a lot of people that are like, oh, I can speak Spanish and that kind of thing. Um, can you have a real conversation at all in a foreign language? That should be your benchmark. Don't say you can speak another language until you can kind of do that. Like, I'm not trying to be the Harper, like that I can hear every, like, no, because man, if you know dialects, accents, all that kind of stuff, man, that'll eat you up so quick. Um, Man, I should not go down those realms. Okay, so once upon a time, I had a job where I worked with a guy, and yeah, I don't know if it's a blessing. I try to take most things as kind of a double-edged sword. Like, if it's bad at the time, a lot of times it makes for funny commentary stories later. But once upon a time, I worked somewhere. I'm gonna try to keep job names out, even if I didn't like the place or did. Just because you just don't do that. And that had nothing to do with the actual company. It just happened to have some weirdo dude. Um, so I was on one side of the room. He was on the other side. We were just chatting, or he was chatting to another guy, talking about. So he had learned he'd said he learned Filipino in his sleep. Kind of the whole I don't know. I don't even know if this is a thing. I don't know if people do this anymore. I mean, I listen to music sometimes when I'm laying down going to bed. So I'm not going to argue that that doesn't play some kind of role in things. I just think that for the grammatical structures of all things considered, you're gonna. I just feel like it has to take years to do that. I'm just saying because that's something that's crazy with languages. The conversations that you'll have with one person are not necessarily going to be exactly the same with somebody else, and that's such a big deal. So you just pick up more and more from everybody, and like even I'm not saying to completely crap on a lot of methods that start off with, "Hey, how are you? The bank is in town," or that kind of thing. I've seen plenty of. Where is the hotel? We're not all rich people that just get like somehow teleported into Madrid or wherever the hell, and then you just have like, "Oh, sir, I'm glad I've been using this application because it taught me how to say where's the hotel," and it's like I'm just on the sidewalk, like what? Because most places, if you go somewhere outside of the country, um, you should be set up for something, and even at an airport, there should be somebody when you're coming through, like can't even think of it, but you're because you're on like everybody's land, like basically you're not in the country technically until you go past this one gate, and then now you're in this country. But anyways, to the story, I rant. So hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully it's semi entertaining. That's me. But he said he had learned the Filipino language um, by just listening to it while he slept, and I was like, so you're saying Tagalog, and if you're not familiar with the dialects in the Filipino language, the adopted language of the Philippines is Tagalog. There are other recognized dialects from certain areas, and that it's not to say that those aren't important, but you should know those things. If you go down the realm of like trying to learn it, like you got to learn a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and be like, blah blah blah. These people do this. Like, screw you. Like, you don't write off people. Like, I mean, like even in the best interest of everything, nobody does anything the same way. There is no, like you might be able to get away with like this family sucks, like because they do that. Fair enough. But no, I can't just write off like one country because like they all eat this. They probably do, and that may be because of the nature of exports. Oh, we're getting some wins. I'd heard Alabama, where I'm located in Northwest Georgia. Um, I'll try to get some formalities ironed out eventually. But for now, we're just going through stuff. I'm gonna just sit and talk in front of a camera for like 30 minutes or so, and nobody's gonna watch. But no, you just don't like. And then like I was like, and then I called him out on it. I was like, "So you're telling me you learned Tagalog in your sleep? Just shut up. Just shut up." Like I couldn't believe it. Like I was like, "Damn, homie." Like, you know, like, and the only reason I take offense to that, it's not because I have a personal, well, a little bit. I can't say that. Um, I have a personal attachment to um, languages. I think it's an interesting thing. I am kind of a introvert in essence, but like it's an interesting thing. And even with the little bit of Spanish that I've learned and Portuguese, those are really the only languages I can have a real conversation. My Arabic's terrible. Like I remember when I had Rosetta Stone a long time ago, and I think it's completely changed just because I bought it when, excuse me, when you were still installing your software through CDs and that kind of thing. And I sat there and like just trying to do some of the glottal sounds that you find, and that's something else. Like dialects, man, dialects. Anyways, yeah, that guy just stop talking. And like that's something else. What like that I started down is when you get in the realm of dialects, you gotta learn about what's going on. Like to some degree, the some of that stuff does matter. You will learn like what areas of a country or something of that nature um does those things. Like we can't just write it off completely, but there are some things that can because language learning is not like I could just eat this food today. I mean that happens over time. So you know, and like China, when Mandarin got adopted, I'm gonna say 1930s. Please fact check me. I'm okay with that. Like I'm just ballparking. I'm not gonna sit here like even in the first stream I got on my phone to kind of try to get people in. No, I may try to give more of an advance uh, to people. Hopefully, after if nothing else, I don't know that I'll comb my hair. Just ADD. It's the world though. I just don't know. We'll see. But I figure the video quality will eventually go better. If not, then just have Grainy Smith. Grainy Smith. Maybe that's a working title, but I don't know. Yeah, but when I was trying to learn Arabic through Rosetta Stone, I think I had to repeat the vocal where you would like where it would present something a syllable, and then you'd have to regurgitate that, and then be like, "Oh." And there was a guy that there. I wish I could remember the website. There's a website where you can find like tutors of all kinds of things. I imagine it's still around. And usually you can find somebody pretty cheap. And I'd found a dude from Egypt. Um, I didn't like his attitude. He was very condescending. He was just like, no, no, no. Because we go through the alphabet. That's typically where a lot of people. I don't know that I agree with that approach. Even for stuff that doesn't use a Roman character. Uh, the alphabet will not save your life in a terrible situation, and it doesn't have to always go to that. But if you've ever been in a situation where you speak your language and then everybody around you does not, um, the alphabet. I, I'm not going to say it can't help you, but if you don't even know the words, what the hell are you going to spell out? Like there are like you can write something, and there are some things that may be universal. I can't other than things that kind of don't lead to much. Like okay is universal. You can pretty much use that anywhere in the world, but you have to understand some kind of thing. Like if somebody can point you to something, like a nod is the same thing as okay in that aspect. So you know, at what point I'm gonna quit touching the computer because like notice I was rocking it a little jittery, having a cough. But no, I do know what I'm probably gonna do. Oh, so this was nice. Um, after still going, there's gonna be a battle between me and this insurance company. Once again, I was the victim. I hate to say it like that, but just to quickly say that I was in a car accident and somebody else hit me. Like pulled out in front of me. And I'm going to keep going down that road of trying to call them. Hopefully, they'll reach back out to me. And yeah, because I I am en route to fixing my car through the help of somebody else. So I'll say that. And some compensation would be much appreciated. Uh, and I want to fix other things on the car, and I'm gonna see if we can't work, not between me and the insurance company, but the person that will help me out. Well, I wish there was a way I could pause this stream. I don't know how to do that. There's an arrow next to the end stream button, and I don't know what that does. Because that looks like a forward arrow, like I would send it to somebody, and I don't know. But either way, I think I will end it now. I know that I kind of ended on like a bad, like this is just like a terrible episode, and you're like, where did it all go? And one of my buddies, he told me, script. Yeah, I I'll work on a script. I will. There's just so much stuff, and I'm hoping somebody will come back to me and be like, Joe, could you talk about this? Gladly. But either way, Happy New Year's, everybody. Please let me know what's going on in your life, what you plan on fixing, doing, what you want to do, anything. Well, Happy New Year's, everybody.